Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to welcome everyone to our stem cell treatment talk show. I would like to introduce our leader, Abigail Sese, to please welcome the
So,
viewers.
hi guys, my name is Danal Abigail Cisese, and welcome to our talk show. This isn't your ordinary talk show, but this is an educational talk show, so kindly look forward to what I'm going to discuss later on. So, how about it? Let's get it?
First question, I would like Mr. Joshua Batulayan to answer this question. What is stem cell
What
treatment?
is stem cell treatment? Stem cells are undifferentiated cells that can turn into specific cells as the body needs them. And stem cells also show promise for treating some diseases that currently have no cure. And stem cells divide to form more cells called daughter cells. And these daughter cells either become a new stem cells or become a specialized cells with more specific function such as blood cells, brain cells, heart muscle cells, and bone cells.
Thank you, Mr. Joshua Batulayan, for answering and explaining to us what really is stem cell treatment. So for the second question, what is the effects and side effects of gene therapy to the body? I would like to ask Mr. Francis Federico to answer this question.
Hi, welcome to our talk show. My name is Francis Angelo Federico, and I'm a first year BSN student. So, I will be going to talk about is what are the risks and benefits of stem cell therapy. First, what is stem cell? So, stem cell for me is a basic cell that can turn itself to any kinds of cell that existed in our body, such as white blood cell, red blood cell, and nervous cell, and also bone cells, and any kinds of cell. And the benefits of stem cell therapy is it replaces the damaged cell and replace it with the new one or healthier one. And also it regenerates the normal blood flow of our body and reestablish the cell-to-cell communication. So the risk of stem cell therapy is hemorrhage during a surgery. So any kinds of surgery is pwede magkaroon ng hemorrhage. For example, neuro, basta included yung stem cell sa surgery na yan. And also, formation of tumor. Kung saan ginawa yung surgery, there's a possibility that there's a tumor or formation of tumor that can occur. And also the risk of stem cell therapy is there is a possibility that your body may reject the stem cell. Why? Because we have the antibodies called immunoglobulins. It protects our body from any kinds of harm. So if your body doesn't recognize the stem cell, your body will possibly reject those stem cells. There is a way that your body can adapt from it. Like during the operation, the doctors will shut down your whole immune system. So for about couple of weeks or maybe a month so that your body can recognize the stem cell. Once the doctors put back your immune system. And another risk is inappropriate stem cell migration. For example, your body needed a red blood cell, but those stem cell is turning into a white blood cell, which can cause you a harm, or it will harm yourself because you're going to be anemic because you have a higher level of white blood cell than red blood cell. So because your body signals the wrong thing to do with the stem cell. And also, I forgot to say, one of the benefits of stem cell is to replace or fill the lack of cell in our body. That is all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Francis Federico. So for the next question, who and why did they invent the gene
Who
therapy?
and why did they invent stem cell treatment? In November 6, 1998, a team at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, led by James Thompson and Jeffrey Jones, reported the creation of the first human embryonic stem cells, which derived from early embryo. After finding the cells were impropotent, the team sees the potential cells have for drug discovery and transplantation medicine. Since the stem cells are special human cells, the scientists came up with the invention of treatment for stem cells, and this is called stem cell treatment. They invented stem cell treatment because this is a becoming magnificent game changer in medicines. Since stem cell treatment is the use of stem cell to treat or prevent disease or condition. It is also known as regenerative medicine, promotes the repair response of disease, dysfunction, or injured tissue using stem cells. Stem cells treatment are also thought to mediate repair via 5 primary mechanisms. The first one is providing an anti-inflammatory effect. Second is homing to damaged tissue and recruiting cells that are necessary for tissue's growth. Third is supporting tissue remodeling for overscar formation. Fourth, inhibiting apoptosis, and fifth, differentiating into bone, cartilage, tendon, and ligament tissue. With the invention of stem cell treatment, we are better be able to prolong human life anytime in our history.
Thank you, Miss Christine Josiel, for answering the question. So for the next question, is gene therapy good or bad for the
Stem
body?
cells' function is to replace damaged cells in the body, and these kinds of cells have the ability to grow in other cell types, allowing it to carry out specific function depending on what the body needed. Number 2. Is stem cell treatment good or bad for the body? All medical treatments have benefits and risks, but unproven stem cell therapies can be particularly unsafe. For example, of risk, one patient became blind due to an injection of stem cell into the eye. And benefits like stem cell therapy could potentially help by slowing down MS disease's activities and repairing existing damage or replacing faulty parts of the immune system or central nervous system. Scientists hope to achieve is to replace or reboot the body's immune system. Number 3. Who invented gene therapy and why did they invent gene therapy? William French Anderson, also known as the father of gene therapy, a world-renowned scientist who was convicted of sexually molesting a colleague's young daughter, and Anderson has been hailed as the father of gene therapy and was honored by George H.W. Bush of White House. Anderson said his idea was to use viruses to carry the genes into tumors to kill cancer cells, as he described it to stats. The key step was creating mutant forms of the molinivirus. The virus infected mice but can be tweaked to infect human cells. Anderson was working on a virus that would kill cancer cells while sparing healthy normal cells.
Thank you, Mr. Kurt Macedonio, for answering the question. So for the fifth question, who do scientists come up with the idea?
First, I want to discuss about who discovered the stem cells. The key practice of stem cells were first defined by Ernest McCulloch and James Still at the University of Toronto in early 1960s. They discovered the blood-forming stem cell, the hematopoietic stem cell, through their pioneering work in mice. Now, I want to discuss the benefits and risks of gene therapy. Gene therapy replaces a faulty gene or adds a new gene in attempt to cure disease or improve your body's ability to fight disease. Gene therapy holds
promise for treating a wide range of diseases such as cancer, cystic fibrosis, heart disease, diabetes, hemophilia, and AIDS. And the side effects of the risk of gene therapy are unwanted immune system reaction, targeting the wrong cells, infections caused by the virus, possibility of causing a tumor.
Thank you, Ms. Cheryl Samaro, for answering the question. So for the last question, is gene therapy approved by the government?
Thank you for that question. So I'm going to answer it now. So to be precise, it is allowed by the law as long as some clinics meet those requirements. But stem cell treatment being researched is only allowed in accredited hospitals because they have the backups of DOH and FDAs. Also, stem cell treatment is banned in USA because a lot of complaints are being heard by the Congress saying that the research is destroying human embryos. It is also being discarded and it is knowingly risk to injury or death. Also, additional to that is that the president who banned the stem cell treatment in US is President George Bush. So, in the Philippines, there are only 3 cases of stem cell therapy that is approved by the FDA. But later on, the FDA quickly rejected the other registrations for the stem cell therapy because of how they saw the procedure of using it or like doing the stem cell therapy. So, additional to that info is did you know that the ranges of costs of a stem cell therapy in the Philippines is in 500,000 to 900,000 per sessions that they will be taking. And it also depends on the hospitals that they're going to have a stem cell therapy. So, gene therapy focuses on replacing or reconstructing a disease-causing gene with a healthy copy of a gene and activating a disease-causing gene that is not functioning properly. Also, did you know that gene therapy is also known as protein in our body? That's why it is need to be replaced so that it can properly function. So, example of diseases that gene therapy can be cured is cancer, heart disease, diabetes, hemophilia, cystic fibrosis, and AIDS. Also, okay, so how do they exactly use the gene therapy? So, it is used to modify cells inside and outside the body. So, a doctor will inject the vector carrying the gene directly into the body that has defective cells. So there are 2 types of gene therapy. It is the somatic gene therapy and germline gene therapy. So somatic gene therapy is transfer of a section of DNA to any cell of the body that doesn't produce sperm or eggs. While the germline therapy is transfer of a section of DNA cells that produce eggs or sperm. So, that's
Ms.
it.
Abigail Sese. So for the last question, this is to be answered by all of us. As a student, do you agree on what the scientists are experimenting on stem cell therapy and gene therapy?
Welcome to our talk show. So my question is, as a student, do you agree on what the scientists experimenting about the stem cell treatment and gene therapy? As a student, I agree on what the scientists experimenting about the stem cell treatment and gene therapy because humans have between 20,000 to 25,000 genes located on 46 chromosomes, with the majority of us having 2 copies of genes inherited from our parents. Gene therapy may be able to fill in some certain gaps, like replacing a mutated gene that causes diseases with a healthy copy of genes. introducing a new genes into the body to help fight diseases.
Lastly, as a student, I agree on stem cell treatment because stem cell treatment studies shows that only 45% patients that have gone through this treatment only had success with it. But it is painless procedure with zero complications, and from those 45% patients, they stated that they could see the result within 6 months after the treatment. I am doubtful about the gene therapy because study shows that this treatment possesses a number of risks. The way this treatment delivers to a patient could be very serious and develop into various cases such as toxicity, inflammations, and cancer. The safety about this procedure is still progress and it is not 100% effective because there is a chance that the DNA mutations could transport to a different location. So as a student, I don't agree. Thank you.
So for me, personally, as a student as of now, I don't think I can surely agree as of now because I still have we still have a lot of things to research about this topic.
So, as a student, I agree with gene therapy because gene therapy only focuses on uh, reconstructing or replacing a disease causing gene with a healthy copy of the gene, also relieving the person's sickness. But for stem cell treatment, I don't agree with that because there are a lot of human embryos to be sacrificed because they are being destroyed and discarded, not knowing what will they be in the future.
So yeah, I think I'm agree. Continue experimenting for stem cell therapy and gene therapy as long as there is a no human sacrifices or animal sacrifices, just like that. As long as they can do it properly. Yeah, I agree with it.
As a student, I'm in favor of what scientists are experimenting about, simply because it will be a great help for medical field if it will be a success. It's a great knowing that some scientists are finding cure to treat some illness that cannot be successfully treated like cancer. I suggest that they should continue researching about it or improving their research until they know all the positive and negative effects of stem cell treatment and gene therapy. And I wish that they can find cure that has lesser negative effect for both short term and long term.